The Blackhawks have announced a Hall of Fame is the first part of their Centennial celebration, and we've got a huge guest standing by. Don't miss this episode of CHGO Blackhawks. Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks podcast on this steamy Chicago Thursday. I'm Jay Zawaski with Mario Teräväinen. We've got Blackhawks Centennial activities, but more importantly, we have a massive guest in studio. 3 Stanley Cups, 2 Norris trophies, Olympic gold medals, on and on. All-time 100 team, the best defenseman in Blackhawks history is with us right now. It's good old number 2, Duncan Keith.
Thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for having me, Jay. Mario, good to be back in Chicago.
It's exciting to talk to you on this Founders Day, which the Hawks announced. Today is the 99th birthday of the Blackhawks, introducing the 100th season. And we're super happy to have you here on an important day for the organization. Original 6, beloved in town. You can see all the people tuned in watching now. What brought you back into town?
Well, what's not to come back for? It's such a good city. Obviously with the announcement today of the Centennial season here with the Hawks, it's great to be back. And I was just at the United Center saying hi to people there, and just good memories here. And always love coming back to Chicago.
How often do you come back? Is it few and far between since the playing days have been over?
Yeah, it's a little bit harder now that I'm coaching my son, so it's tough to get away in the winter. But season's over now, and there's a little downtime, so figured this worked out good, and the timing of it worked good, and excited to be back. It's neat to see everybody again, and probably I try to get back once or twice a year, but travel's a little different, a little harder where I'm at right now, but I can made it work, so it's good.
Are you still playing at all? Are you just going around and dominating beer leagues, or what's your hockey schedule look like these days?
No, it's strictly tracksuit and coach's whistle, coaching my son's team and all of his buddies back home. So it's been fun. It's interesting seeing the game from a coaching perspective now, and thought I knew everything as a player, but coaching is definitely a different animal to deal with, but it's been a lot of fun.
How is it coaching, your son's team? Like, how do you feel like you kind of coach him up being, where do you draw the line between like dad and coach?
I think at the rink, it's, it's, I'm the coach there. And, when we get in the car, we didn't lose too often this year, but don't like losing.
Brag, yeah.
I try to, turn it off there when we were in the car ride home. But it's fun. It's been a great experience, and just nice to be part of his hockey. And I see how much he loves the game and loves to be around his teammates and be around the rink. And it's different for me the last 3 years, but it's been a lot of fun and very, very rewarding to be a part of that now, and to spend lots of time with him now.
Is that sort of how you see your post-career going? Just kind of being a family man, staying at home, doing your outdoorsy stuff, or do you have kind of an eye towards maybe making coaching a thing down the road or in the near future?
Yeah, I haven't really thought too far ahead, to be honest with you. I think right now just enjoying being able to be home and get some good sleeps and get to bed on time and wake up with the birds and the sun, and and just spending time with Colton and coaching his team. It's a lot of fun. I got to coach we had a spring team for the month of April, and I was coaching with Brent Seabrook and Cam Barker back home. So our boys were all playing together and we were in a tournament in Calgary, and it was awesome. It's fun. It's different, but it's a good different.
It's good to see all you guys kind of sticking together, all the Dynasty Hawks teams. Who else do you keep in touch with? Who else are you frequently in contact with?
I try to keep in touch with all the guys. I think it becomes a little difficult, a little easier at different parts of the year. During the hockey season, everybody's kind of busy doing their thing. But yeah, I try to talk to all the guys. Just like I said, coaching with Brent, so I see him a lot. It was funny because we're coaching against one another during the winter. So I'm on one bench and he's on the other, and it's just all those years of being together on the same team and going to battle together. And then now we're going against one another. It's kind of it's fun. But yeah, I talked to lots of guys. Andrew Ladd lives close by. Kept in touch with just different players over the course of the different seasons. Versteeg's out in Toronto, and talked to Sharpie here and there too. I think he's busy as well. So it's everybody's getting older now and got kids, but they're kind of wrapped up in that. But it's good.
So we got the Centennial season now. That's the announcement today, and the Blackhawks Team Hall of Fame is going to be part of it. And there's the more modern era players that are up on the ballot, some more heritage players that are up on the ballot as well. It's up for a fan vote. Your name is on the modern players ballot. Did you think when you were drafted by the Hawks and started out your career that at some point you would be considered one of the best, not only Blackhawks, but one of the best to ever play the game?
No, I definitely didn't think of things like that. It's funny just being at the United Center earlier there today, and it's a little bit of nostalgia coming back and talking about the past. I remember my draft year, and being drafted to the Hawks, and just being so proud and excited to be drafted to an original six team. And I know that gets said a lot. Maybe by draft picks that it's an original six team, but I really do feel like it does mean a lot. And, especially with a city like Chicago and the people that are here, and with this proud franchise that's been around for 100 years now, it's incredible. And, you think about all the great players that came before myself and my teammates. It's just so many great players that played before us that paved the way and were that inspiration for players like myself to play in the NHL. And that's really kind of all I wanted to do, was just a kid growing up on outdoor rinks and freezing cold in northwestern Ontario, and just wanting to play in the NHL. And then to get drafted to the Hawks and see the Hawk jersey, put it on for the first time. I remember it like it was yesterday. And time goes by so fast that it's kind of sad in ways how fast it goes by. But so many great memories, and very proud and grateful that I got to spend so much time here with such a great organization.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because you came into the Chicago during the low times, and it had been years since the Stanley Cup had been won. And when you came in, games weren't on TV, and the franchise was really in a low place. And even then you had that pride of being drafted to the original six. And I think over the last couple of years, some fans have maybe started thinking like, maybe this isn't a destination anymore. The Hawks still don't have a head coach, so they think, well, no one wants to come here. That's not the case. Chicago, and I'll let you speak for it, but Chicago is still a destination regardless of where they are in the standings at the moment, wouldn't you say?
I think so, for sure. I mean, I think it'll always be a great destination for players here. I think the city speaks for itself. I'd like to come back, once or twice a year, just because of the city, more than anything as well. Like you go to a nice restaurant every single night, and got so many good people here, and I've been fortunate to create relationships with over the years. And I think just a kid that just wanted to to play in the NHL, and then when you get drafted by the Hawks, it's special, and it really is. It's and you see the progress that the team's made over the last 20 years. I mean, just being there now, and you see. We used to walk up to the Jordan statue, and we'd be outside, and now they've got that atrium there, and it's changed so much, and it's really a first class organization, and I think for me it always was. It wasn't. It was different when I first started, knowing that I was just happy to be a part of an NHL team, be in the NHL. I remember going to an exhibition game, and I wasn't playing that game, and we sat down in the lower bowl, and nobody, knew that we were really players, and that was kind of nice to me. I didn't care. I didn't think anything about that. Just wanted to be in the NHL, and you're in a original six team with major U.S. city, and it's definitely a top destination for players to play here. Absolutely.
I remember, I don't know if it was your rookie year, maybe your second year, that you guys had to hand out like tickets at the train as people were getting off. And then there were some preseason games where you guys were greeting players as they were, or greeting fans as they were coming into the building.
Yeah.
You were part of that, right?
I remember
talking to Seabrook doing that.
I remember handing out, the little,
like a voucher,
little cards for, it had our schedule on there, and, but at that time for me, it's like, I don't know, you're just with the guys, you're young, and it was fun. And I know things have changed, and the team has generated so much interest now over the last several, it's always been a top team, a team that had a lot of fans. And like we were just saying, we'd go to different arenas, and it was Hawk fans everywhere and filling up the buildings. And I think that's part of what makes this team special, and this place a great place to play is the fact that there's Hawk fans everywhere, and they're always watching, always cheering for the Hawks. So it's cool to be a part of that.
Yeah, well, you and your teammates brought that to a different level. I mean, it's before you guys were here, it was different. You guys took the Blackhawks to a stratosphere I never imagined possible growing up as a Hawks fan. And so, first of all, thank you for that, because without you and your teammates, Mario and I are probably not sitting here in the studio right now. I wouldn't have written a book about it. Like, there's so much fallout from your success just again, the number of people watching us right now, just gratitude for you guys and what you pulled off in the city. For sure.
It was I think it was just a full team effort, organization effort, and without the passion of the fan base that you guys have, it wouldn't be here as well. So I think the passion of the Blackhawk fans is also kind of what fueled that as well. I don't think that can be undervalued, and I think that's a huge part of the team's success too, knowing that it was 20,000 people, 22,000 people in the building every night, and it was loud, and it continues to be that way. And it was special to be a part of.
When you started your careers, you were talking about being able to sit down a lower bowl, not many people recognize you and everything. That transition probably around the 07-08 year, the arrival of Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane, like that kind of set in motion that like culture shift and the how the fan base started to grow from there, and then ultimately you guys go on your Stanley Cup run. What was that shift like to experience as a player, where you kind of you look around the room and more young guys are added, some as a lot more talent joined the group, and you guys started getting results? Like, what was that culture shift like that ended up running into 2010, 13, 15?
Yeah, it was exciting. It was exciting to start at the bottom of the standings, and I look back at that first year, and we had such great veteran leadership and guys like Adrian Aucoin and Marty Lapointe, and Matthew Barnaby was there, and then it seemed like every year, we would the younger players that were already there, we continue to grow, and then we would add a player like Marty Havlat coming in, and Marty Havlat elevated. I know for myself, he elevated my play too, just playing with better players and those star type players where you learn from, your teammates make you better, whether it's the competitiveness of them and that internal competition or the skill level. You're continually improving, and that hunger and desire to get better. And then, we continued to take steps, and we traded for Sharp early on too. And that was another huge piece, obviously. And Andrew Ladd, and you just continue to build, and then it's exciting. We added players from the draft in Hjalmarsson, and just as a player that was there to kind of continually see these good young players come in and improve the team. I think that was the exciting part, is that you want to win games as a player, and you want to win. And then to see those guys just great teammates, and Hossa coming in too elevated it. Obviously, Kane and Taves coming in too was a whole different element to that elite level of talent and skill level and competitiveness and hunger to get better and be the guy. And I think what made it special was just everybody pushing one another to get better and improve, and then obviously Quenneville coming in, Coach Quenneville. That was just the pieces coming together, and it was exciting times, especially knowing that we started and we weren't winning, and there wasn't a lot of hype or talk about the Hawks, and it was finally time to it's our time now, and we felt that, and I think we had that confidence as a group that we knew it was going to be our time, and then it just took off from there.
I want to talk about your journey personally. You get drafted in 2002, and it's a few years before you make your debut. 2 full years in Norfolk. The Hawks have an organization right now full of young defensive prospects. Some have come up as rookies, some have waited. What did those 2 years in Norfolk do for your development?
Yeah, they were huge. I was fortunate to have a coach in Trent Yanni that was there, and he was took me aside, and I think for myself there it was great because he saw the strengths that I had, and at that time it was always you got to be physical and you got to be hard to play against, and I always felt like I could play defense and I could be really good defensively, and Trent, I think, just the fact that he helped bring out those strengths, whether it was having a good stick or breaking up plays with your stick and using my quickness and speed to defend, and those 2 years we had great leadership down in the minors there, and guys like AJ Baines and Marty Wilford, and I learned so much from a guy like Marty Wilford in the minors, just about practice habits and not missing a pass in practice, and it was I definitely fond memories of being in the minors, and obviously always wanted to get to the NHL and be up in the NHL, but it gives you that appreciation for when you do make it, that you're not riding the bus anymore. You're taking private planes and team planes, and you're staying in Ritz-Carltons over the lower end hotels. But at the time it's all good and it's all part of it, and I'm back full circle now, staying at the Super 8s, and it's I love it too. It's great.
Well, you took me there. Trent Yanni's a guy I've been thinking about as a potential coach for the Blackhawks now, and he had his time obviously Norfolk, then Chicago for a while, and he's been an assistant, a very respected assistant since then. As a head coach, what does he bring, and is it something, I don't know if you keep in touch with him at all, but I wonder if it's something he's looking to do to become a head coach in the NHL again?
Yeah, I talked to him when I retired, and I've kept in touch here and there. But like I said, I think he's busy now with I think he's with Detroit.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what his aspirations are to become a head coach again. Maybe they're there, but yeah, for me at that time, he was great, and he set a lot of the foundation for me for my pro career, and as specifically as a defenseman too, to instill the good habits and details into my game that I took with me for the rest of my career. So I can't thank Trent enough for the time that he took with me, and the the patience he had with us. We had a lot of young players on that team, especially our first year, and it was a struggle at times, but we ended up making playoffs that first year, where not a lot of teams and not a lot of people thought we'd make playoffs, but just because of that commitment to good details and habits over the course of the 82 games, we improved and we got better and better. And I think, I look back on my career and think very fondly and grateful that I had a coach like Trent at such an important time in my career.
You've had you went through a number of coaches through the minors and through the Blackhawks and everything. Blackhawks are currently going through a coaching search, and GM Kyle Davidson is stressed wanting to get like the right guy for the team, and it's a young team. How important is it to have a coach that can, at different phases of where you were in your career, young team, and then you had, the Cup years with Quenneville, having a coach that can kind of fit the team, and how that makes kind of a difference, as you said, like with Trent Yawney being very defensive specific for you, like how does that mesh? Like, could you just bring in a guy and say, this is the coach and this is the team, figure it out? Or does it make a difference where you have a coach that can kind of mesh with the group that's currently there?
I think it's huge. I mean, you look at when Quenneville came in, and I think at that time, the timing was right, for where we were at. Guys had played 2, 3, 4 years in the league, some less, some maybe more, but to have a coach, from my experience of having Quenneville come in, a guy that had been around for a while, we had that immediate respect for Joel and what he brought to our team, again on the details of how we wanted to play and that good habits of practicing and how we wanted to practice, how we wanted to play. And I learned so much too about, just the way I needed to play too, to have success within that team. And the timing was right. And so you, as a player, you kind of, I don't know I always appreciated my coaches. But maybe now that I'm coaching my son, I appreciate too in a different way, a different perspective on coaching and how important it is to have a good coach and the right coach. And it'll be an important decision for the Hawks coming up here.
We had someone paid to ask you a question, so we gotta get that one in.
A couple super chats.
It's from someone named Jake Flanagan. $10. That's our boss. He says, your playing style is often described as relentless. How were you able to stay so locked in with so much ice time?
That's a good question. I don't know if I always was, but you know what? I tell the kids on our team now that I'm coaching, if there's two things that you want to be good at, or not necessarily good at, but two things that you want to, I guess, have in your arsenal of weapons, is never get tired and try to be quicker and faster than everybody. So if you're, and I tell them this is a little analogy. If you're running through a jungle here and you're going against the enemy attackers, I don't want to be tired out on that battlefield, right? You don't want to be tired. And you want to be quicker than everybody. And I think if you can work on those two, off ice training, and I felt like I did a lot of that when I was a kid. And I'm not sure exactly every little thing that it was. I know I did a lot of running as a little kid, to the point where I felt like my lungs were going to pop out of my chest. But I know those two things helped me in my career be able to play a lot of minutes and not get tired. And you feel like, when you're in those battles in playoffs, whether it's a 7-game series and it's going to 7 games, you can kind of feel at different points of the game or a series where the other team's energy is down and tired. I think that helps, knowing that you still have energy, and now is the time to kind of go on the attack a little bit.
It's got to be a bit of I would imagine, being an opponent playing against you, it's double, triple overtime. They're bent over trying to catch their breath, and you're just standing there waiting for the face-off. That's got to be a little bit of oh my God, how is he still going and I'm sucking wind so hard? It's got to be like kind of a mental advantage for you as well. On
it is a mental advantage, 100%. But I don't, not to say that I wasn't tired.
Yeah,
it was
right,
definitely exhausting, some of those games. But yeah, if you can have that little bit of extra juice and energy left in you there, you know that you can get to that loose puck quicker and before the other team and get possession of the puck. It helps.
Yeah, that 2015 Cup run, you're averaging 30 minutes a game, something crazy, and got the Conn Smythe and everything. A lot of double and triple overtime games in that year. What was that year like? You guys have been there twice before in 2010 and 2013 with that group. 2015, did it feel more like, did it feel the same as that 2010 and 2013 years, or was it more of like a relief kind of feeling that you had been at that level so long not to like go that far? And then
I think every time you get to the finals, there's a little bit of relief, to be honest with you, that that it's over and you can take a break, but a relief that you win. I couldn't imagine. We're lucky, fortunate to go to the finals 3 times and win all times, but it's got to be a hard feeling going that far in the playoffs, all that way, you're that close, and then not coming out on top. But I definitely remember, those seasons there towards the end. It was there's definitely relief that that the grind is, you're going to get a break now and you can relax and rest up, especially that 2015 run there where it felt like it wasn't just me that was getting lots of ice time. There was Oduya and Seabrook and Hammer were getting lots of ice time too. I don't know if it gets talked about enough, just the level of play that those guys had in their game too, and a huge part of our success, and for them to be able to play those big minutes as well.
I want to ask you about Jonathan Toews, who looks like he's going to be making a comeback next season after 2 full years off and all the health things he had ahead of that. Think he can pull it off?
I think so. Yeah, I think knowing Taser, anything he puts his mind to that he can do. I think he's what is he, 36 now? So I think the time off is a tough thing, but he keeps himself in shape, and like I said, if he wants to do it and come back, that I know he can do it, and he'll put the work in. That's not a question. And obviously he's got great hockey sense, and it'll be interesting. I'm excited for him. I'm excited to see what's going to happen here with that, and where he'll end up, and what'll happen. But I'm just excited to watch him.
We got a couple more questions from fans we want to get to. There's one about the draft. You don't keep up on the draft prospects, I assume, so we'll save that one for a little bit later. Super Championship Wrestling says, which of your former teammates can you see as a future NHL head coach?
That's a good question. I don't know. When I talk with Siebes, he talks a lot about wanting to be a coach one day, and I'll be his assistant, he tells me.
That's
I
nice.
said maybe the other way around.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I think, I guess if I had to pick a couple, it would probably be Seabrook and Sharpie. We spent so many times sitting in the hotel rooms after hockey games on the road, talking hockey, and just what we needed to do as a group, and just the passion for the game that those two guys have, and the competitiveness. I think they'd be great coaches, and they know the game, and I'd say those two guys, Seabrook and Sharp.
And brother Seamus wants you to bring back the DK hats.
I just signed a couple of those hats there. I think they're still out there somewhere. I don't know
exist
if
somewhere.
they're selling. Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
I didn't bring mine in today, but should have.
Hey, you wear yours often.
I
thought
do
you
wear
had
them
one
often.
today.
Yeah, I wanted to, spruce. I put on a collared shirt today. We had a big guest. I want to look good.
I'm not going to church. I'm wearing a collared shirt. What are we talking about here? Well, Duncan, we could talk to you for hours, man. I know you don't have the time, but we appreciate you coming in. We appreciate everybody at the Blackhawks for making this happen. And hopefully we can catch up down the road, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. It's like I was saying, it's great to see, just just how everything's come along here, not just on the ice with the Hawks, but off the ice, and the passion for the fan base, and great to be back and chatting with everybody, and just especially nice to be back in the city for a few days. So thanks for having me.
Of course, anytime. You have an open invite. Just walk in.
Yeah.
We'll let you in anytime.
Anytime.
5 days a week,
thanks.
2 o'clock, open door policy. All right, we're going to let Duncan go. Thanks, everybody, for being so cool during the chat. Do us a favor, if you've not done it yet, hit that like button, and we'll be back in 2 minutes on the CHGO Blackhawks Podcast. And we want to tell you about our friends at Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary, your home for judgment-free cannabis shopping. It's a place for all kinds of visitors are welcome to explore, discover, and purchase a wide array of high-quality products. They've got everything you need to elevate your summer. Whether you're new, whether you're a veteran, whether you're a Kevin Korchinski or a Duncan Keith in the cannabis game, they will take care of you. It's your one-stop shop for all your needs. Sunnyside has an expertly curated menu with over 100 strains to choose from, plus easy online ordering and in-store pickup. Visit sunnyside.shop for bright buys every day, including 50% off your first 3 online purchases. Enter the promo code HICHGO at checkout to qualify. Exclusions apply. Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary. Bright buys every day, only for 21 plus or Illinois medical card holders.
And it's a hot day today in Chicago.
It's ridiculous.
I decided to wear all black like a smart person. And Duncan Keith was coming into the studio. I am caked head to toe in Mando deodorant because I was making sure.
It's lovely in here.
Yeah, I was making sure 100% that I was not going to offend my favorite Blackhawk of all time with my body odor. And Mando body deodorant can be a difference maker for you. You got a first date coming up that you're nervous for? Throw on some Mando. You got a active sports day coming up? Throw on some Mando. For your pits, your balls, your thigh folds, your belly buttons, your butts crack, and your feet. Mando covers your whole body. And you can choose from a variety of scents like bourbon leather, clover woods, Mount Fuji. Could smell like a mountain. That would smell good.
It's a good smell.
Or Pro Sport. You can smell like a Pro Sport. That smells good too with Mando. It's clinically proven to control odor better than just a shower and soap alone. And 12 hours after a shower, the average man's Grundle odor level is 5 out of 10. That's unacceptable. With Mando, this is the average Grundle odor by Grundle Odor Sniffers Anonymous. With Mando, it is 0 out of 10, and 0 is what you want to be. Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. Comes with a solid stick deodorant, the cream tube deodorant, and 2 free products of your choice, such as the mini body wash or deodorant wipes. And it comes with free shipping. And as a special offer for our listeners, new customers can get $5 off of a starter pack with our exclusive code. That code is CHGO. Use that code at shopmando.com. Again, that's shopmando.com, SHOPMANDO.com. And the code is CHGO. Support our show and tell them we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando.
And now it's time for Taking the Temp with our friends at Four Seasons. The temp, it's hot.
It's 84 degrees in our studio today.
But that's not the bit. Your trusted local experts are Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. Visit fourseasonsheatingcooling.com for all their special offers and money-saving coupons. That's Four Seasons heatingcooling.com. Who's hot today? Teuvo Teräväinen.
Super hot.
Really, really good game for Teuvo against Slovenia, if you missed it.
Yeah. 6 primary assists today. Not just assists alone, but 6 primary assists for Team Finland in a 9-1 win. And I believe I saw that's a record for assists in a game at the World Championship.
I would imagine that is if not a record, very, very close to it.
So Teuvo stepping up for Finland big time there for them at the World Championship.
And refusing to shoot the puck.
Yeah, just the ultimate teammate.
Exactly. That is Taking the Temp, presented by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. Visit fourseasonsheatingcooling.com. That's fourseasonsheatingcooling.com. There you go. Well, that was
fun.
That was cool. There's so many questions we could have asked him.
I wish we could have 4 hours with him.
Yeah.
I wish.
It would have been great. It would have been great.
Next time.
Yeah, when his number goes up to the rafters or he makes the Hall of Fame or both. Or the Blackhawks Hall of Fame, all three.
Yeah, I think all three of those things are pretty...
it's a matter of time. We should get into the announcement today. Founding Day.
The Centennial announcement. Cool stuff.
So I know there was some conversation like, why are they calling this a Centennial season when 1926 was the Hawks' first year? They're celebrating the 100th year. And then May 15th, 2026 will end it on the 100th birthday. That's it. So it's leading up to the 100th birthday. So today they're calling it Founding Day because they were granted a franchise May 15th, 1926. And there's going to be a whole season full of stuff. It's been outlined today. Now, this is, to be clear, the first wave of announcements.
Yeah,
they don't have the NHL schedule yet, so they can't tell you, here's our promotional schedule here. Once the NHL schedule is out, I would imagine pretty quickly after that we'll start to see specific theme days and things like that.
Are we doing a live broadcast of the NHL schedule release?
People can't get enough of that.
Maybe. We'll see.
So here's how it's going to work. Following the home opener this year, the Blackhawks Centennial celebration will unfold across 4 distinctive chapters. So each chapter will include a signature game nights, a series of fan favorite bobbleheads and giveaways. It says untold stories through rare archival memorabilia. That's sort of what we were talking about, like the living museum type of thing.
And you were talking about eras before too.
Yes, exactly. And then it will culminate in fall of 2026 in a fan event centered around the 100th anniversary of the club's first game. Yes. So that's in season though. So it sounds like an all-star break sort of festivity.
In the fall of 2026?
It's February of 26.
February.
Oh no, it did say fall.
Fall.
Why did I see February?
I don't know.
Yeah, fall of 26.
Both start with F. Yeah, I mean, hey, those are some great ideas that we had.
I'm glad they listened to our show and then made this plan.
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
They're sitting there like,
yeah, last
notes.
week. That's awesome. I think that's going to, as we've said on a number of occasions, when the Blackhawks have events like this, when they have jersey retirements, when they do specialty nights, the events are over the top. They're always out of the park, done really well. So I'm really excited to see how this year will roll out, and with all the special nights that they'll have. I love the bobbleheads coming back. Like I think that's been something that on specialty nights, they gave away the Chelios banner fan giveaway. They gave the host a banner fan giveaway. But I think like some of the giveaways, like bobbleheads, like they're the cool stuff. Like that's the really fun stuff. We got tons of them back here all over the office and sets. We need new ones.
Ours are falling apart, literally.
Yeah, we literally had Jonathan Taze's leg fall off.
That was like the first
during
year.
A show. We have a JFK Dave Boland. Too soon? Sorry. Yeah, so we need. I don't know exactly what the bobbleheads will be. They might. I'm sure there's going to be some past players. There will be some maybe current players. Like there might be a Bedard bobblehead that's team issued. So that'll be really cool to see. And yeah, I think the fan giveaways are going to be really cool. You saw across social media, Hawks changed up their logo that will on their social media pages. That looks to be most likely what the crest will be on the uniform.
Yeah,
I
with
would
the
say,
outline. Yep.
It's something I didn't see the first time it kind of got circulated. Was it's kind of like that like matte tan like around the face, but when you look around like the hair and the feathers of the logo, it's kind of more gold. And I don't know if it was just maybe my eyes are getting bad in old age, but like it looked like it kind of like changed a bit. So I wonder if it'll be like a flat color or if it'll be more metallic like we've seen Boston when they did their Centennial season. They had that kind of like more gold, kind of like Vegas when they first started.
Well, I will say, Sarah, keep the camera on Mario for a second. I'm going to go get something.
It's me. I'm Mario. Jay is going to get something, so I'm going to...
Jay has just left the set, just so everyone knows.
I hope... I don't think this is tummy troubles. I think he's actually going to get something. But yeah, I mean, the Centennial stuff is going to be really cool. The Hall of Fame is a great idea as well. I think that's something that is going to come in handy because you can't retire everybody's number. You can retire some numbers, and they will, but you can't do it for everybody. Jay's back now.
Jay is back on set.
So I've got this. I can't forget the years of the Nike jerseys.
Late 90s.
So if you can zoom in here, maybe Sarah. This has the tan outline on the warrior head. And as you see, it is kind of golden. Like there is a reflectiveness. It's not metallic, but it certainly has a golden hue to it.
A little shine.
And I can't really compare it to a modern one, but like the outline definitely has a golden feature to it more than just.
What year is that one?
It's like the early 2000s.
Okay, yeah.
And this is probably the last time they had for you listening on the audio medium, just Google Nike Blackhawks jersey and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Or just go to our show on YouTube.
That too. There is a reflective nature to this. So when you look at it, even the shot we're showing on camera right now kind of has that golden reflection that you're talking about where it's kind of, a little bit, yeah. As you move it, it kind of changes. So I would imagine it will be something close to this.
It's pretty revolutionary in the late 90s to have a hologram logo.
I know. I don't think they should go. Look, for me, I don't want them to stray too far and to go too radical. I don't think they will.
No.
I think you're going to keep it classic. I think it's going to look a lot like this. Now, I will say the detailing on the logo is a little different here in terms of the mouth and eyes and everything. So I would imagine basically what we're seeing in the promotional stuff will be what's on the jersey.
I would think so. Yeah. And yeah, I think too with, the always an original tagline.
Which they've used before.
Did they?
Yes, they used that in the 90s.
Okay. Well, I think other things from the 90s are going to be coming back this season as well. I think they're going to tap into that more classic feel of things. I don't think they're going to use the Centennial to push into the future, even though this is a season where I think a lot of the future is going to be exciting, and they'll tap into a little bit. But I feel like for the special Centennial year jersey, I think it'll be more of along the lines of like what we've seen when they've done like Winter Classics and stuff. It'll be more of that celebrating the past kind of thing. So no, I don't think the jersey design is going to stray too far away from exactly what we see now. I know our pal Windy City Hockey, who chimes in, says, Super Chat, Nike was worn from 96 to 99.
Okay. Yeah, that feels about right.
Yeah, and that being a Chelios Blackhawks jersey, he was gone by 99. So
yeah. By the way, DJ, thank you for the $5 Super Chat. We didn't want to give Duncan Keith a Matthew Schaefer question because I don't think he's caught up on the prospects. So we do appreciate the Super Chat.
Yeah.
And Windy City, he did see your note about you naming your dog Duncan. So thank you for those. But yeah, so the most exciting thing about this though is the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And absolutely. Why don't we get into that next? We can hit the break zone here. I know we're right up against it, but I'm excited for the uniform unveil. I'm sure that will be a soon to be revealed part of things. I feel like
they're going to do it at the draft.
I would think so. I think the draft will probably be the first time we see it.
Yeah.
So that will be one of the things soon, and the schedule drop later this summer. So a lot of things rolling out, but for me, the most exciting right now is the Hall of Fame. So we're going to get into that next on CHGO Blackhawks. Hit that like button for us in the meantime.
Excuse me. And if you are in the market for a new vehicle, why not check out our friends at Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake? They are kicking off the summer with a big Memorial Day savings event all month long. Come in to shop the Memorial Day sales event and drive home with 0% financing for 60 months on new Chevy models. Or you can check out their selection of over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000. With one of Chicagoland's largest Chevy inventories, you're sure to find the perfect vehicle for you. And as one of the top selling Chevy dealers in the Midwest, they're able to keep their prices competitive, so you know you're getting a great deal. And with Ray's Price Promise, that lets you shop confidently because it guarantees no add-ons, no hidden fees, and no gimmicks. It means the price that you see and hear is the price that you pay. You don't have to worry about price changing, any stressful negotiations, or any tricks. The people at Ray Chevrolet just want to help you get into the right vehicle at the right price. So go see for yourself. Visit our partner at their convenient location on Route 12 in Fox Lake, and don't miss out on their Memorial Day sales event going on all month long for 0% financing on new Chevy models. Shop Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or at raychevrolet.com. They've been serving the community since 1963. Together, let's drive.
All right, the Hall of Fame.
Jay, do you have a ad read?
Yes. What I was going to say, everyone, was the Hall of Fame of sports betting apps is Circa Sportsbook.
Smooth.
Whatever the sport, the app to bet it is Circa Sports Illinois. Circa Sports, it's sports betting the way it should be. Circa Sports Illinois has high betting limits, low holds, and exceptional customer service. Bet on all your favorite teams in every game this season. Spreads, props, futures, or in-game. The Hall of Fame app, Circa Sports, has it. Fun and bet like a pro from anywhere, anytime in Illinois. March Madness is long gone.
It sure is.
But it's still in the ad copy. But the Stanley Cup playoffs are here. And the NBA playoffs are here, allegedly.
PGA Championships just started.
PGA Championship. Yeah. All that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Jump on it. At the circasports.com. That's where you're going to download your new bookie. You must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Circa Sports Illinois. Get the app. Get your bets in for March Madness.
Absolutely.
Now, on to the other Hall of Fame.
What were you going to say?
I really like the way they're doing this. Mm-hmm. So if you missed it, they're going to add 2 players a year, one from the modern era, one from the heritage era.
Seems like too little.
And then they also have a builder category, which would allow an opportunity for your Pat Foley's, your Jim Cornelissens, your Billy Rays, your people that are not players. Yeah, Troy Parchment, people like that are going to be in the builder category.
More organizational people.
There's going to be a media vote. The Blackhawks have also assembled a group of Blackhawks people to have a vote. And of course, there's a fan vote. You could make that vote right now at blackhawks.com/HOF. I put my fan ballot in earlier. I just tried it again with the same email. I got back the confirmation email. When I went to vote again, it said you already voted. So it does not allow for
ballot stuff.
I mean, you could do several emails if you wanted to.
I was going to say, try your work email.
Right, so I can do that, but there's no ballot stuffing.
Yeah, it's a voting process. There's always ways to gerrymander it.
Yes.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I like that. That makes sure that Tab Bamford can't send in 50 Steve Larmer votes every day.
Well, he is the one tab on Twitter. He's probably the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6.
Sure. I really like that idea. I think maybe to get it started, it's just one from each. But I think you look at the list of the guys that are on here for the heritage players and the modern day players, you're going to need to do maybe 2 a year from each group, because you need to expand it, because there's a lot of people.
I've had some conversations this week with people who are in the know on this, and they're going to feel it out the first year and tweak as they go and maybe change things here or there. There's a couple caveats. So you have to be 3 years retired from the NHL to be eligible. So Jonathan Taves not eligible because he's not officially retired.
Active.
Patrick Kane, active player, not eligible.
Actually active.
So here's your modern era ballot. And I believe it's a 25-year. So if
players who completed their Blackhawks career in 2000, 2001 or later.
Yeah, and I think every year that will kind of move up.
Probably.
It'll be like the last 25 years will be modern, and then heritage will slide. So here is your modern era ballot. Tony Imani, Brian Campbell, Corey Crawford, Eric Daze, Nicholas Hjalmarsson, Duncan Keith, Brent Seabrook, Patrick Sharp, Andrew Shaw, Steve Sullivan, Jocelyn Tebow, Alexei Zhamenov. In your heritage era ballot is Eddie Belfour, Doug Bentley, Johnny Gottslig, Dirk Graham, Dennis Hull, Cliff Coral, Steve Larmer, Chico Mackey, Mush March, Pitt Martin, Bill Mosienko, Troy Murray, Eric Nestorenko, Jeremy Roenick, and Doug Wilson. So you can choose one from each category, and that's how you get your vote in. I voted for Keith and Belfour.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, you're gonna have so many. Each one of these guys has a case for the vote, and the other thing too. Did you mention if a player has their number retired, they're an automatic into the Blackhawks Hall of Fame, which I think might influence some voters, but I would say, and I haven't officially cast my official ballot, I'm gonna say out of the heritage players, I'm gonna go with Doug Wilson.
It's not a bad one.
I think he's a guy that whenever I think about the number retirement conversation, I'm always surprised that Doug Wilson is never like in that conversation. It's Roenick and Belfour and those guys, they get their names brought up from that era, and obviously some Larmer and Savard's got his number up. But I always think about Doug Wilson. I'm just like, man, he just like, it just feels like, I know a lot of his post-playing career was just focused on away from Chicago, but the player he was for that generation, I'm always just surprised that it's never in that conversation. And I mean, I know for a fact Duncan Keith is going to have his jersey number retired, but I'm still going to quote unquote waste my vote on voting for him because, as I said before, he's my favorite Blackhawks player ever. I have his jersey; it's sitting here on our set. My heart is still beating fast from meeting him and talking to him and everything. So yeah, I'm going to go with Keith.
He was very impressed with our studios.
Yeah. It was fun to get to a few minutes to kind of chat with him a little bit before we started the show and everything. And it was just it's just fun. We've had Hossa here and on the set and everything. So it's been fun to be able to kind of, as those guys have come back into the organization since their playing days have been over, we're kind of spoiled to be able to be in this position we're in, where coming here is like kind of part of their agenda when they're back in town.
I got a call from the Hawks representative on Tuesday, I think.
Yeah.
And they said, we'd like to have a special guest in on your show on Thursday. I'm like, oh, okay. Like a former player. I'm like, oh, it'll be like Savard or Chelios or one of the ambassadors.
Sure, which also would be really cool.
And they go, how about Duncan Keith? Yes. That sounds. The answer is yes to any of them.
Sure. Yeah.
But I was not expecting Duncan Keith.
No.
And it was kind of funny to see people voting, like kind of like guessing who it was going to be all day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't know if it gets bigger than that.
I mean, it can.
It could.
It could. It might.
You had Hossa and Keith here, man. That's pretty good.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Bill is asking if he left a button in the urinal. We haven't been able to check yet.
You haven't checked yet. We have not checked.
Hossa
how's
didn't.
How's the Hossa clone going?
It's not going well.
Another tail.
Someone's got to clean out that tank.
Man,
it's getting pretty green in there. It's been really cool. Just one of those days where you're like, this is what I do for a job. Like, pretty cool. So, anyways, not to get off track, but I think with this Centennial year, I'm just excited to see how just the presentation of everything, and I think too, all the off ice stuff, all the celebration stuff, it's going to be a lot of fun, but I also feel like it's not perfect, obviously, but I think we're hitting this Centennial year. There's going to be a lot of this, attention on the past and everything. But I also feel like we're going to have a team on the ice for all these special nights and all these games where you're going to get the, we're celebrating 100 years. We're celebrating the history in the past. And then if you come to a game and you sit down and you watch the game, it's like, this is the presentation of the future. This is Frank Nazar and Connor Bedard and maybe it's Sam Renzel, Korchinski, all these guys that, are big pieces of this rebuild moving forward. I think you're going to have a team on the ice that is like a presentation of like what's to come. Like, here is the wave of the new era. And I think hopefully that makes for an exciting full spectrum, in game, watching on TV, being there for special nights, like makes it a good experience, because I hope this team is exciting, fast next year. And then you also have the, celebrating the history. It just feels like it's going to, I hope, be a really all-encompassing experience as a Blackhawks fan.
Yeah, it seems like they're on the right track. There's clearly going to be a uniform situation coming. You have to assume at least one number is getting retired.
At least,
so
yeah,
it's gonna be a fun season. I will say, like, the Hawks did their 75th anniversary season. Let's see, that would have been 25 years ago.
Good math.
And I don't remember it being quite as festive as this feels like this is going to be. Now, 75 is not as important as 100, of course.
It was also a completely different organizational mentality.
A very different regime.
Yeah.
But still, if he was sitting in that chair and it wasn't Duncan Keith, I would still take issue with it. That 75th anniversary celebration game was against Detroit, and they brought all the Blackhawks legends back, had them on the ice for a photo. Chris Chelios is obviously part of that 75th anniversary team. The photo of that team is forever tainted by Chris Chelios in a Red Wings jersey.
He's in a Red Wings jersey, yeah.
He's wearing his Red Wings jersey among all those Blackhawks. And at the time, it was a much different feel between Chicago and Detroit than it is right now.
Well, and towards Chelios, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is such a cool photo that you can't put up in your house. You just can't do it.
I mean, you can.
No.
That's a classic photo.
It's a terrible photo.
That's pretty
cool.
It. I don't know. I think that's that just for the history of it, I think is
Sarah,
awesome.
I'm going to throw this photo in Slack and we can curse the broadcast with it if we want to. Oh my God. Looking back at it, it's so bad. Oh, I'm so angry. I'm angry. Bring Chris Chelios to me. Then he'll kick my ass.
Hey, that'll get our numbers up.
You know what though? Like
the
timing of it though is just like,
yeah,
things were so bleak for the Hawks and things were so good for Detroit. It was just extra difficult
towards the bottom.
A tough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Oh God, there it is.
Yeah.
There he is. There's all your legends. There's Tony Amani out there with the
see the frosted tips.
Yeah. Dennis Savard. There's Steve Larmer looking at Chelios.
He sticks out so much.
Yeah, it's like a sore
It's the
thumb.
only white coloring there, and it's all red and black, and then there's just the white dot in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's rough.
There's Esposito, I see, and
Keith Magnuson front and center. Doug Wilson's there. Troy is there.
Nikita.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Bob Pulford, of course.
Cool stuff.
The ever-present Bob Pulford. I saw him walking through the United Center like 3 years ago.
Yeah, just hanging out.
Why are you here?
Just hanging out. Saw somebody put up in the chat Pulford's quote saying Duncan Keith was the worst draft pick in Blackhawks history.
Well,
I was like, well, I don't think that panned out quite like he thought. But
that's what you need to know about Bob Pulford's team management skills.
When Keith was talking about getting drafted and everything, I didn't have my computer in front of me, but I was like, oh shoot, we should have pulled up his draft photo because he's got frosted tips as well. Because it was the early 2000s.
It was the Sugar Ray era.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Speaking as someone who had frosted tips as a 10-year-old in 2000, I did.
Oh,
There's
man.
no photographic proof of it because it only lasted one like haircut cycle, but yeah, it's pretty special.
Why are the NHL draft photos so bad, by the way? That's it, yeah.
They're bad. They're usually bad.
They're so
because it's it's guys wearing jerseys over like shirts and collars, which looks awkward no matter what. And then it's just like, here, hold a hockey stick at the camera, or in the case of Nick Foligno's draft photo, hold up two skates to your ears like they're telephones or something, or stick behind the neck.
Yeah.
And it's the same photo that you've seen for 30 years, just different 18-year-old kids.
I gotta say though, no hockey player has gotten better looking throughout their hockey career aside from Nick Foligno. That guy played gritty hockey for 10, 15 years, whatever it is, and is somehow better looking now than he was the day he was drafted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, man, they call that a glow up. That's what the kids call it. Sarah, you can use that someday. Glow up. I just invented that. Yep.
Hopefully I glow up. That's the hope.
You're fine. It's us I worry about.
Yeah.
So it's cool. I like that this is the first announcement of many.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get a lot more stuff when the actual schedule's out.
I'm excited to see what the bobbleheads are going to be.
Yeah.
Like who they're going to be of.
Well, so the voting ends in July.
For the Hall of Fame.
So they'll know who the winners are.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bet those would be.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I'll bet those will be 2 of them.
Yeah.
They should do a builder one this year, too.
Whatever.
It's too late.
I'm not going to try and derail the show, but I just saw something in the chat that I'm going to look up real quick.
Oh.
Do you want to talk or do you want me to just be silent?
No, go for it.
Okay.
Go for it. Yeah, I think I'm seeing what you're seeing too. So yeah, find it and share it and we'll talk about it. But I do like the rollout a lot. I think that so far so good. And I like the way that it seems like the jersey might go or the logo is going to go, where it's a throwback but not too much so, kind of modern and heritage at the same time. I think this is I like what I've heard so far. So
are they going to be the same price as like all the normal jerseys?
I would imagine so. The only way that would bring it, the things that make them more expensive is if there's extra patches on them and
That's
stuff.
what I was wondering if they were going to do like an extra.
I would imagine there'll be a Centennial patch. I remember for the 100th NHL season, they wore patches like here.
On the sleeve, yeah.
The whole league did.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't know if what the Hawks plan would be for a patch, but I would imagine a Centennial patch will be somewhere on the jersey.
Yeah.
Because usually it's on where the Circa logo would go.
Yeah, and maybe they move the Circa logo.
I don't know.
Probably not, but maybe. Someone mentioned in the chat about retired jerseys. Jamie Faulkner confirmed to Ben Pope, this is in Ben's write-up on the Chicago Sun-Times, the Hawks won't retire any jerseys this season. Confirmed by Jamie Faulkner, but says they will hold a number of Centennial celebrations with similar pomp and circumstance to Hossa and Chris Chelios's recent ceremonies.
Interesting. So there's
retired jerseys.
But see, the Hall of Fame does throw a wrench into that a little bit when you think about it. Because if Duncan Keith wins the
who's
Fame
wrench? What rules?
Well,
it's your own thing. Do whatever you want. Not retiring jerseys in the 100th year. Come on, the Hall of Fame's great. You can also simultaneously retire jerseys.
I mean, that's what you could just do is, well, then it defeats the purpose of the Hall of Fame, though.
I don't think it does. Whatever.
By the way, the Hall of Fame will be a physical place in Fifth Third Arena when the expansion's done. So It'll be a physical place you can go see.
Awesome.
At Wrigley,
that'll be fun.
The Cubs Hall of Fame is a series of plaques in the bleachers. Like in the, underneath the bleachers, you can walk through the outfield
outside it, right? Yeah.
It is in the building, but you can get to it from anywhere in the park.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a series of plaques and there's some memorabilia and stuff there too. So I wonder if it'll be a similar feel. We'll see. We don't know what the renovations look like yet. So all I know is they're moving fast.
Well, they have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's kind of disappointing.
I agree. Very disappointing. Right. Oh well. Hall of Fame
show ruined.
Yeah. Now I'm sad.
Yeah. Well, you know what we should do? Let's just end the show.
Let's just end it.
What a bummer.
Just cut it off like a what chaos overtime reaction.
Exactly. All right, we'll talk to everybody tomorrow at 2. We will talk more about this no jersey retirement thing. We got to marinate on that a little bit.
Grievances, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll talk to you at 2. Go back and share the Duncan Keith interview, by the way, with friends and family.
Yeah,
that'd
absolutely. Be great. Unconfirmed right now. We're gonna work on it in the next 23 hours, but we likely will talk with an Ice Hogs player.
Nice.
To wrap up their season from that perspective. So another special guest potentially tomorrow.
I have a somewhat shocking news.
Oh boy.
Sam Gagner is retiring. Somehow, Sam Gagner made it through his NHL career without being a Blackhawk.
Always felt like he would eventually get there.
Didn't it feel like at some point Sam Gagner would be a Hawk?
We'll always have that 8-point game he had against us.
Who could forget? All right, well, remember the career of Sam Gagner tomorrow on CHGO Blackhawks. We'll talk to you too. See you then.
We all silly like the mayor.